9.5b, Binomial Theorem, Part 2. All right. So again, on the Binomial Theorem, when we do a binomial expansion, we really need to find this n combination r, x to the n minus r, y to the power of r. If you understand that, you should be pretty much good to go. All right. If you can find your r, again, you're pretty much good to go. If you understand your r, we're already good. So let's expand this one. So now we have x squared plus 4 to the power of 3. Again, let's start out with our coefficients. What would be my first coefficient at all times? 1. And then if it's a power of 3, my next one's what? 3. And then what's my next one? 3. And then 1. So now we start expanding it. So now we have 1 times x squared to the power of 3. And then plus 3 times x squared to the power of 2. And then we have 4 to the power of 1. Remember, the first one descends while the other one ascends. And then plus 3 times x squared to the power of 1. And then 4 to the power of 2. And then plus 1 times 4 to the power of 3. And now we just have to do a little bit of math to clean it up. So when we have a power to a power, like x squared cubed, that's actually x to the power of 6. You multiply. And then I have 3 times 4, which is 12x to the power of 4. And then plus, now I have 4 squared, so 4 squared is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. X squared. And then plus 4 cubed, which is 64. And so then we're good to go there. All right, let's do it. So this one, we have x squared plus y to the power of 1/2, all raised to the power of 6. With our coefficients first. So we'd start out with 1, and then what? 6. Now, let's say we don't remember our third one. Okay, because most people probably don't remember that one. How do we get it? 6 combination 2, exactly. Because your r is 2, because you start at 0. All right, so we do 6 combination 2, and we end up with 15. And then we need our fourth one. Well, let's say we don't remember our fourth one. How do we get it? 6 combination 3. All right, so 6 combination 3 ends up being 20. Now we should be kind of on our downward slope. We end up with 15, and then 6, and then 1. So now we're ready to expand this thing. So now we have 1 times x squared to the power of 6. We end up having 6 times x squared to the power of 5. And then we have y to the 1/2 to the power of what? 1. And then plus 15 x squared to the power of 4. Y to the 1/2 to the power of 2. And then plus 20 times x squared to the power of 3. And then y to the 1/2 to the power of 3. And then plus 15 x squared to the power of 2. And then y to the 1/2 to the power of 4. Now I'm going to run out of room. And then plus 6 times x squared to the power of 1. And then y to the 1/2 to the power of 5. And then plus 1 times y to the 1/2 to the power of 6. And now we just need to simplify it up a little bit. So this first term, I end up with x squared to the power of 6, which is x to the power of 12. And then plus 6, x to the power of 10, y to the power of 1/2. And then 15x to the power of 8, y to the power of what? 1/2 times 2 is really just 1. All right? Remember, you multiply when you have a power to a power. And then I have 20, x to the power of 6, y to the power of 3/2. And then plus 15, x to the power of 4, y to the power of 2. And then plus 6x to the power of 2, y to the power of 5 halves. And then plus y to the power of 3. If I have, let's say, a square root t, that's really a t to the power of what? T to the power of 1/2. Let's say if I have a cube root t, that's really t to the power of what? 1/3. So if I have a fourth root t, that'd be a t to the power of 1/4. Okay. The sixth term of the quantity a plus 2b raised to the power of 8. Again, if you can find your r, you can find everything. So what's my r if I want to find my sixth term?
5.
My r is 5. Okay, that's basically what it tells me. All right, so what goes out front?
8.
8 combination
6 or 5.
5. And then I have a to the power of something. I always do that something last. And then I have 2b to the power of what? 5. This a is really to a power of what now? 3. All right, so now we just need to evaluate it. So 8 combination 5 is, and then I have a cubed, and then 2 to the power of 5 is 32, b to the power of 5. So now I have to do a little bit of math. 56 times 32 is 1,000 what?
790.
A cubed b to the power of 5. All right, write out this next one. All right, on this next one, what's my r? 5. It literally gives it to us. All right, so what goes out front? 11 combination 5. And then I have 3a to the quantity of what, or to the power of 6. And then I have negative 2b to the power of 5. And now we just need to start evaluating. So 11 combination 5 is, what is it? 462. And then I have 3 to the power of 6, which is 729. A to the power of 6. And then I have negative 2 to the power of 5, which is negative 32b to the power of 5. So good thing we have a calculator. So now we need 462 times 729 times negative 32. And I end up with 5 what? 536. A to the power of 6 and b to the power of 5. All right, so negative 10,777,536. All right, pretty good? All right, let's keep moving. So I'd like you to try to find these terms. All right, so on this one, I'd like you to try the fourth term. And on this one down here, I'd like you to find the ax to the fourth term. All right, so if I have to find the fourth term, what do I know my r is?
3.
My r is 3, okay? So that's basically what it tells us. All right, so what goes out front? 7 combination 3. And then I have x to the power of something, and then I have negative 10z to the power of 3. So this x would be the power of 4. All right, so then we have to do a little bit of math. 7 combination 3 ends up being 35, and then I still have x to the power of 4. And then I have negative 10 to the power of 3, which is negative 1,000 z cubed. And so then we just do a little bit of math. 35 times negative 1,000 is negative 35,000 x to the power of 4 z cubed. All right. All right, let's look at this next one. I have x squared minus 3 quantity to the power of 8. And I need to find my ax to the fourth term. So if I have ax to the fourth and I'm left with an x squared, what would I have to do to that x squared to be raised to the power of 4? I have to raise it to a power of 2, which means negative 3 would have to be raised to a power of what? 6, because they have to add up to 8. So what did that tell me? What is my r?
6.
My r is 6. All right? It told me my r is 6 because those have to add up to 8. All right, so what goes out front? An 8 combination 6. All right, so now I need to use my handy dandy calculator. 8 combination 6 ends up being, what is it? 28. And then I have x to the power of 4. And then I have negative 3 to the power of 6, which happens to be 729, right? Positive 729, because it's an even power, it becomes positive. All right, and then 28 times 729 ends up being, what was it? 20,412. X to the power of 4. All right, pretty good. All right. 9.5b, worksheet 9.5b. All right, open it up because I want to go over number 4 with you. Expand the expression of the difference quotient and simplify. So this is a difference quotient, it's f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And my first function we're going to deal with is x cubed. So all we're going to do is we're going to take x plus h and we're going to substitute it in for my variable here. Okay, that's all we're going to do first. All right, so if I need to find f of x plus h, well, I'd end up having x plus h quantity cubed. Well, again, what do I need to do when I expand those? I first start out with my coefficients. What are my coefficients? A 1 and a 3 and then a 3 and then a 1. All right. So when I expand that, I would just have 1 times x to the power of 3 and then plus 3x to the power of 2, h to the power of 1. And then plus 3 times x to the power of 1, h to the power of 2. And then plus h to the power of 3. So that's what f of x plus h is. All right. And then on my difference quotient, it says minus f of x. So now I'm going to say minus f of x. Well, what's my f of x? X cubed. So now I'm going to say minus x cubed. And then it says it's all over h, so I'm going to put it all over h. All right. Now, what happens up top in my numerator? The x cubes, what happens to them? They cancel. Get out of here. All right. So now I need to divide everything else by h. So I'm going to distribute dividing. All right. So if I have 3x squared h over h, well, what happens? The h is canceled. So what am I left with? A 3x squared. All right, and then I have a 3x h squared over h. So what does that become? A 3xh. And then plus, I have h cubed over h, which is now just h squared. And so that would be my answer for this year. Okay?